Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. I'm going to do a reading for Capricorn energy. And like usual, the top row is going to be what some people are thinking of doing or how they're living their life, harnessing how to have Capricorn energy. And the bottom row is going to be what we could be tempted to do or we are living in if we're in our shadow nature. You know, sometimes we have run our life off into the ditch or we're in our fear or insecurity or pride or ego or whatever, and we're kind of in shadowy energy. We could be in shadowy relationships, didn't believe in our dreams, didn't love ourselves, thought our dreams couldn't come into reality. So some people might be struggling to get out of their shadow energy. Some people are happily in their shadow energy because shadow energy can just represent meaning, I don't want to do love. I get hurt doing that. I prefer to make my life about money and materialism and status and image. That way I won't get hurt. And some people want to live their life like that. And then there's people who are much more shadowy Capricorn energy, where they're selfish and greedy and prideful and egotistical and bossy and controlling and all that good stuff. But I'm going to tell you some of the stories that I see in here of how I think different people could be handling their Capricorn energy right now. So in the top row, we have a card not showing itself, which is the King of Swords. Some people aren't speaking their truth. Some people have cut a Libra out of their life or someone who they thought would be just and fair. But regardless, some people could be trying to do the right thing, and if they had someone leave their life or someone they had to cut out of their life, they're trying to maintain balance within themselves because Libra is represented by the scales of justice. And in the Four of Pentacles, they're taking time in their Capricorn energy to get stable and grounded within themselves. Some people felt that there was something they needed to move away from in their life. And for some, it was just to move away from living more from their mind than their heart. Libra is air sign energy. If some people in their Capricorn energy used to live more from their mind than their heart, that would have been in shadowy energy. They're trying and putting in work and effort to get more balance within themselves because they want their divine inheritance in life. And if you want to be in relationships with other people who are open and authentic and loving and warm and balanced, not tipping into their shadowy nature of fear or insecurity and pride and ego or lust or greed or immaturity or things like that, we need to detach from living more from our mind than our heart. And if there are certain people in our life that we need to detach from, because when we're aligned with our own shadowy energy, we'll have other people in the world who kind of represent that energy and that we can be in a relationship with who are happy that we live more from our mind than our heart. That we think it's just and fair to be in our fear or insecurity or our lust or our greed, because then they will be in a relationship with them. And if we want a more balanced life and a more balanced relationship, some people have seen the truth of things within themselves and therefore other people in their life that they need to hold back from. Because depending on what we align with within ourselves is going to influence who we align with in our life. And if we want to be more balanced and feel more stable and grounded within ourselves, we can't be living from our mind and letting our fear and our insecurity, because I sometimes look at the King of Swords as being like our emotionally defensive nature living our life. And so some people are trying to balance out their strong emotions. And if they had people in their life who might have been a little more emotionally detached or kind of bossy or controlling, have their own idea of what they think is just and fair and thought we should live our life that way too and think that the way they live their life is just and fair, if that's not our dream and we didn't feel like we were getting the type of relationship that we wanted in a workplace or a relationship, some people realized that they needed to hold back from some people. And in Sagittarius energy of the Temperance card, it talks about balancing out your strong emotions. And Sagittarius is also about wrapping our brain around this game of life. It's about higher learning and education. And the reason for the reading is the Seven of Wands, which is Leo energy of having taken some action to get out of your more worldly nature or competitive nature or ego or fear or insecurity or more worldly view of life or way of living your life, to stand up for yourself, to be more bold and brave and confident, and listening to your intuition to guide you, and love to guide you. And we can love people and not be in a relationship with them if they're not, if their idea of what is just and fair, or if they like to be more emotionally defensive or bossy or controlling, because that can be shadowy Libra energy and the King of Swords energy, or they're defensive to love or being vulnerable and they hide behind their more egoic, emotionally defensive nature. Our dreams can't come into reality with people like that. High vibe Capricorn energy in shadow is represented by the devil. All of our fears and our insecurities and our more immature, indulgent, or lustful, or greedy, or worldly nature, and our dreams aren't going to come into reality living our life that way. We could have thought it did at one point in time, and it's also about being codependent on other people, and also maybe living just more from our mind than our heart, doing what we thought was logical and practical. But sometimes our dreams, or like love, seems impractical. And, we need to balance out our strong emotions, be willing to listen to our intuition, and take bold, brave, creative action in our life. What's going on in the shadowy energy? The reason for the reading in shadow energy is the Three of Wands. People, some of the high vibe people used to have a certain dream, a way of viewing life. And in shadow, it could have been a more worldly focused dream. Isn't life about like getting in a relationship or having a job and getting the status and the image and the money and the materialism? But are we really living our truth? Is it a job and career field we really love? Are we in relationships with people we really love? Or was it being more caught up in our fiery nature, which in shadow is our little bit more worldly nature or egoic nature or fear or codependency? Did we want what we wanted? Were we not listening to our intuition? Were we not speaking our truth? So, what do we got down here? We have the Six of Pentacles, the Fool, the King of Wands, the Leo Strength card, the Four of Wands, the Lovers, and the Ten of Pentacles. People previously, some of you that have moved up to high vibe energy, you've done the work and effort to free yourself from your more worldly nature and maybe get out of relationships that might have been more inspired by the world, because the King of Wands the King of Wands and the Fool are both heading towards the Six Pentacles. And sometimes, like in our fear and codependency, we just want to be in a relationship for people to exchange time, energy, effort, hugs, and kisses with us. Sometimes we're looking for more stability in our life. And if we get in a relationship with someone else, we can have more stability than maybe we would have in the Four of Pentacles on our own. And then we could have been more motivated by wanting to be in a relationship, because the Taurus energy is about all the things of the world. Relationships, marriages, business, organizations, just the whole world is kind of what Taurus energy can kind of represent. And we could have been a fool for the world. We could have been a fool for relationships. We could have been motivated and inspired by the world, attracted to people, and wanting to be in relationships, wanting our dreams to come into reality. But were we turning our back on tempering our egoic nature, our more worldly nature, our fears and our insecurities? Because when we're in our shadow, We're not in high vibe Leo energy, which high vibe Leo energy is like the sun, is being in life giving energy, loving ourselves, believing in ourselves, offering ourselves love and compassion and forgiveness for the past so that we can let go of the past. Because if we don't let go of the past and if we don't learn some lessons we were meant to learn, we'll keep repeating a same pattern and way of living our life. And some of you could have been in relationships with people, and some people right now are in relationships with people who turn their back on tempering their own fears or insecurities or prideful, egotistical, or manipulative or self centered ways of being in the world because they're more motivated to make their life about the world or indulging in the world or money or materialism. And some people right now, and some people have been being strong in workplaces and relationships because they wanted it to work out. The Four of Wands talks about coming together with others in joy and celebration from a place of love where people have gained insight and wisdom and done the inner work to free themselves from their fears and insecurities or the past. And some people have been really putting in a lot of work and effort trying to bring their dreams into reality with other people who are either more inspired by the world, indulging in the world, kind of like shadowy Aries of the Three of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Fool, can be, I'm more about myself. I don't want to make decisions that are best for everyone involved. It's more about what I want, or my ego, or my image, or my status, or money, or materialism, or indulgence. And if some people are in relationships with people that they've been trying to like inspire and encourage, and the Six of Pentacles and high vibe means trying to maintain balance, again, tempering things in the Strength card. The Wands can talk about trying to inspire people to get out of their own fears or insecurities or their ego or their fear. Why aren't they doing love? Why aren't they willing to be more open and authentic? Some people don't want to do that because it would require them to speak some truth. And some people don't want to speak some truth. Some of the people in their life, like if I'm going to move forward with you in a relationship, you have to tell me the truth. And they could feel like some people are like running away from telling the truth. And some people are in relationships with people where they think they're just indulging in the relationship. Because that's what shadowy Aries can be, is it's just about me and my wants and my needs and my lust and my greed and my pride, my ego. I might stay in a relationship with you because it benefits me in different ways, but I really don't maybe want to get married. And some people don't want to just indulge someone in a relationship. They really want someone who wants to be in a relationship and hold on to them and put in work and effort to work things out where everybody's in high vibe Leo energy. People are being authentic and warm and bold and brave enough to be vulnerable and let go of their more defensive nature, be willing to speak their truth, to have some hope and faith and belief in love. Some people who are in those relationships right now might decide to hold back from those people because they could feel someone's not telling the truth or not willing. The Kings in tarot can also talk about taking action, and the King of Swords would be taking action in truth. Cutting things out of your life that need to be cut out of your life in order to be like just and fair. Some people don't want to be just and fair. Some people in shadowy Aries of the King of Wands and the Leo card even facing the past, some people have their own ideas of what they view a just and fair relationship as being like. And it isn't kind of like growing and maturing and adding to their foundation. It's about repeating these past patterns and ways of being in a relationship or a workplace that they think are just and fair. And people got all sorts of screwy ideas of what they think is just and fair. I can be stubborn, prideful, egotistical. I think it should be more my way. I think it should be more about my wants and needs. I think I should be able to be foolish and take foolish risks in this relationship. I think a relationship's more about exchanging resources. Like, I give you this and you give me that. There. That's just and fair. But they hold back from balancing out their strong emotions that make them defensive. And they might hold back from coming together with people in a long-term foundation where people look to the future. Maybe some people are kind of in their shadow nature because they haven't been being truthful. And maybe they've been in a relationship not speaking their truth, and this isn't the relationship for them to be in. And they could have been doing it and staying in a relationship because at one point in time they did think it was just and fair. And, you know, maybe they were dealing with someone in their past who wasn't willing to be just and fair or speak the truth. And that person could have went and taken a leap of faith to go exchange resources with someone else. And so someone a little bit could have kind of been in their ego about that. They could have gotten in another relationship, you know, because we all like to be in relationships. And if someone we wanted to be in a relationship with isn't in a relationship with us, you know, are we going to completely not live our life anymore? It would just be nice if people were truthful and honest. And some people could have been truthful and honest in that regard. Like maybe saying, I don't want to get married. But they weren't quite maybe telling the truth about why they didn't want to get married. It could have been because there really was someone from their past that they wanted to be in a relationship with. And they've been trying to balance out their strong emotions about it. Some people who are loving people could have gotten into relationships with some other people, you know, because that's what we do. You know, people can get in relationships with other people. You know, you're still trying to find the person that you can work with to be in a relationship with. And if other people aren't in your life, you know, and they're like holding back from you, you know, you get in relationships with other people. Well, sometimes some of those people are defensive to bring your dream into reality. Other people want to bring the dream into reality. And it's like, you know, if you're still hung up on someone from your past, you know, the truth is what sets us free. And some people might decide if you're not willing, you seem to be holding back. It seems to be something you're not telling the truth about. Some of those people might decide to be defensive to being in this relationship anymore, because they want their dreams to come into reality. And if someone is still focused on the past, well, those people might move on. They'll kind of be a little bit in their shadow energy about it, but they're standing up for themselves and the dreams that they have. Right now, there could be someone who might want to be in a relationship with someone from their past, but they're not taking action on it right now. It could be someone, and they could be in high vibe energy, but they're just battling between trying to figure out, would I be a fool if I did that? Would I be operating from ego if I do that? In their Capricorn energy, and their Libra energy, they're trying to maintain balance within themselves to not act impulsively. We have 3 fire sign energies here, which can be about, you know, taking quick action. They want their dream to come into reality. And I think some people could just be taking time right now to balance out their strong emotions, making sure that they are loving themselves and gaining insight and understanding, because the Ten of Pentacles is Virgo energy, about, oh yeah, and underneath the Three of Pentacles, or the Three of Wands, is the Knight of Cups. First, I have to invest in loving myself if I want to make a good decision. And I need to invest in loving myself, loving my own foundation, to make sure I've healed from my past, that I'm not making decisions out of fear, insecurity, or past pain and heartbreak. I want to make an insightful decision. I'm going to give myself and invest in myself, in like my own inner child nature, to heal. And when I have kind of aligned my worldly things that I want with my more hopeful, loving, believing nature, maybe between the two, then I can kind of get balanced and not tip out of balance and make a decision and stay in a relationship out of fear, insecurity, or codependency. Because some people are in a relationship with loving people, but they just don't know if that's the right relationship for them. And so it's to try to listen to their intuition and heal, and to listen to their intuition and wanting to make a mature decision in their life. Now, if any of you have dealt, though, that could be what some people are doing. If you're in relationships with people and nobody is operating from their ego, everybody is maintaining balance within themselves, everybody is putting work and effort onto this foundation that you're working on, everybody is listening to their intuition and being tempered, people are defending this relationship, you're in a great workplace and a great relationship. And I'm sure with you and the close people in your life, who have hope and faith and belief in their dreams and listen to love and intuition to guide your steps, you're all doing that action. There could be other people, though, that got in a mismatched kind of relationship, or could have gotten into a relationship, and then they got in the relationship, and people that they thought were just and fair and balanced were hiding the fact that they are more emotionally defensive, and what they think is just and fair is different. And now some of those people could be in a relationship where people are acting kind of prideful and maybe egotistical and maybe manipulative and more motivated by money and materialism or indulgence or their ego or their emotionally defensive nature. And some of those people now are trying to balance out their emotions, because, if you anybody who invests in a job or relationship, you'd like that job and relationship to work out. Some people are going to keep putting in work and effort to try to encourage their partner to open up and be a little more bold and brave and confident. And, but in the meantime, I think they're going to maintain good boundaries within themselves. And eventually, if the people in their life don't get out of their defensive nature, they're going to move on, because their more emotionally vulnerable, loving nature doesn't deserve, it's an injustice for them to be in a relationship where people are turning their back to them, being bossy or controlling or manipulative or immature and foolish and stubborn. They want to, if they're being a nurturing, loving, supportive partner, they deserve to be in relationships with other people who are like that. And some of those people that are in mismatched relationships are going to quit, and they're going to hold back from kind of indulging this person in their shadow energy, and they're going to invest in loving themselves. And they're going to listen to their intuition, and they're going to heal and reflect on the truth of the situation, and they're going to listen to their intuition, and then they're going to take action based on, I have tried, I've given it everything I can, I need to hold back from these people, I will balance out my strong emotions, I deserve to be in open, authentic, loving relationships. And if they're not there, who knows what their life is, why they are the way they are. That's the battle, spiritual warfare battle for them to win within themselves. I wish them peace. I'm moving on. For others of you, you definitely might know some shadowy people, and you've cut them out of your life. And they could be people who are all these shadowy things I talked about, um, or they're just people who are more motivated and inspired by the world, or emotional defensiveness, or indulging in the world, or prideful or egotistical. And some of those shadowy people right now are still operating from their more egoic nature, and probably they're more, you harnessed your Capricorn energy different. They cling to an old way of being that they don't want to let go of. If that's their emotionally defensive nature, their way of viewing how they view a relationship as being just and fair, which really isn't very just and fair. Um, and some of them could be just all about themselves. Some of them are much more motivated by money and materialism. And right now, they could be taking action towards someone who they think will either indulge them being in their shadowy nature or has money. And they're hoping that person will exchange financial resources with them because they want to come together in a relationship and a marriage with someone who has money. That's their dream. And they are waiting for someone to make them that offer to marry them and be in a relationship with them, male or female. And if those people are willing to offer them the things of the world that they want, they'll offer them, they're kind of immature anyway emotionally. Otherwise, they'd choose love if they had been enlightened to the truth that they haven't lived enough life. They have a lot of life lessons to learn. Things of the world, I think we all have read newspaper articles about the rich and famous who, are miserable. They have all the things of the world. Things of the world can make your life easier, but to make those the end all be all, that's like comparing money, making money like a drug or alcohol. If I just have more, I'm sure I'll be happier. I'm sure then I'll get over all my problems. That isn't the solution to your problems or making you feel really stable within yourself. If you want to feel stable within yourself, you have to put in work and effort to free yourself from your own shadowy ways of being or your own fear or insecurity. But some people do not want to see the truth, and they're moving forward in their Libra energy. They don't have to be a Libra sun sign, but we all harness Libra energy of what we think is just and fair. And they think it's just and fair to align with their more worldly Capricorn energy. I want the money. I want the status. I want the image. I want to go indulge in the world. I'm sure that's living the life, right? That'll make me happy. Isn't it being indulging in the world? Won't that make me happy? Or if I get in a relationship with someone who indulges me, won't that make me happy? Maybe getting in a relationship with someone who's fearful and insecure, won't that make me happy? I don't know. Some people wouldn't be happy in a relationship with people who are indulging them out of their own fear, insecurity, codependency, because it's kind of like you're not in a relationship with a true counterpart, someone who challenges you to grow and mature yourself. And some people have no interest in growing and maturing themselves. So I think high vibe people and the people that are getting out of mismatched relationships, some people could even be getting out of a mismatched relationship and they might feel they don't have any need to tell those people their truth, because if other people, they're going to think what they want to think. And if you got some prideful, is it even worth telling them? They're probably in, shadow energy can be being in denial. So, some of the shadowy people don't want to see the truth that they need to heal, that they are prideful or egotistical or self-centered or materialistic. They hide. They have their idea is I'm going to hide that I'm materialistic. I don't want people to know that that's why I didn't move forward with the just and fair and people who put in work and effort not to operate from their worldly egoic nature, who are balanced and who listen to their intuition and who are authentic and bold and brave in the world. I don't want people to know that I didn't move forward with those people because I don't want to see the truth that I'm supposed to listen to my intuition and I'm supposed to grow and mature myself. And I don't want people to see the truth, and I don't want to see the truth of myself that I might be materialistic or selfish or greedy. And that's why I held back from people who harness high vibe Libra, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Leo, because I harness those energies probably in a shadowy way. I think it's just and fair to cling to the world, to cling to my old ways of being. I don't want to let go of any of those things, and I'm just going to balance out my emotions that I'm defensive. But I don't want people to know the truth, so I'm going to hide the fact that I'm driven by the world. And so I'm going to maybe take action to go get in a relationship with someone, but I'm either getting in a relationship with someone who will indulge me in my ego and my self-centeredness and bossy and controlling and emotionally defensive ways of being, or I'm going to go get in a relationship with someone who has money, because that's what really drives and motivates me. They indulge and invest in their more emotionally immature nature that doesn't want to listen to their intuition and heal and grow and mature themselves. For some. So, there you go, Capricorn energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.